Hey everybody, Mike Naso from IPR365.com and podweather.com with the latest on the tropics, and it is busy out there as we head closer and closer to the peak of the hurricane season, which is about September 10th. We are at August 10th, so we still have one whole month of ramping up activity before we get to the climatological peak, with even more activity after that, and it's busy out there. We have an Invest 93L sitting in the north central Atlantic here, and it's been here for several days. We've been watching to see if it would develop into a tropical storm. Any little increase in convection could cause it to become a storm, but it's going to be moving on out, probably well to the east of Bermuda. We're not going to have to deal with it on any land. We have a tropical wave with a low chance of development in here, but it is moving to the west, and conditions could be more favorable down the road as it continues in that direction. And the biggest story was our Invest 94L, which has become a tropical depression centered right in the southeastern Gulf of Mexico, heading on off towards the west-northwest towards the North Gulf coast. That is where we're starting right now. Here's the latest on Tropical Depression 5 as of 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It was at 26.0 north, 84.1 west. Winds were 35 miles per hour, so it's not that far away from becoming a tropical storm. If and when it does, it will be named Danielle. And it is moving northwest at 6 miles per hour, so with that component to its track and an eventual bend to the west-northwest and then back to the north, it will be making landfall most likely sometime around, say, Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Ignore these days here. That's incorrect. It's actually still Tuesday night. So just take 24 hours off of that. So you could say by the time Wednesday afternoon comes, and then by the time Thursday afternoon comes, you would be dealing with a landfalling system on the Gulf Coast. We do have tropical storm warnings, of course, from intercoastal city, Louisiana, all the way over to Destin, Florida, with the expectation of those tropical storm winds taking aim at the Gulf Coast. Again, the track, it could be a little bit to the right of this and come more towards Mississippi, Alabama. It could be a little bit further to the left and come more towards Texas and the Louisiana border, but most likely is going to impact areas of southeastern Louisiana. You can even see the model guidance with it. Very, very good indication of that track right towards Louisiana and then north. Although, if you notice the current motion, if it continued that for 5 days, it'd be heading to Texas. But it is expected to start to curl up and around as the high pressure helps steer it in that general direction. Now, here's the latest infrared from afar. You can see the system definitely was blowing up this morning. It's gotten a bit better organized, and is going to continue to do so as it moves on to the west-northwest. I don't really see any reason why it won't strengthen until landfall. Definitely that's going to be the question, just how strong does it get. It shouldn't get too strong, but you could definitely see the visible as the sun went down. A beautiful little circulation right in there spinning off the Florida coastline. And for Florida, I want to let you know, you guys still have some rain showers. Don't think you guys don't have rain. You can see there are still some spiral bands pulling in Sarasota, the Tampa Bay area, Bradenton, Fort Myers. You guys are going to get some hefty rain showers tonight as the circulation of the system continues to pull off towards the northwest. And that is going to be what we're watching so carefully. Now here's the sea surface temperatures for the system. You can see the further east it is, they're actually cooler, but keep in mind, even where you see the blues on this map, there's still pretty warm water. It's just not as warm as the waters right here off the coast of Louisiana and Mississippi. And typically, when you have a system moving northward towards the Gulf Coast, a lot of them have weakened in recent years. However, the ones that are not yet hurricanes tend to strengthen sometimes. You saw Umberto, you saw Claudette, you saw Dolly. So there's the chance that this system can crank up at least to a strong tropical storm, but right now it's looking about 50 miles per hour, 50 to 60 miles per hour. But again, be prepared for something stronger. So if you live in areas of the tropical storm warning from intercoastal city all the way to Destin here, be prepared for a hurricane landfall just in case. It is August, it is the Gulf of Mexico, and it is a well-defined low-level circulation. I did want to note, too, the oil spill, of course, You can still see some of the oil here. This is a few days ago this was taken. The system's going to be moving right over this region here as it makes landfall in Louisiana. Hopefully the oil will not be that affected. The system shouldn't be too strong. Even if it were to become a hurricane, it probably wouldn't be able to become a major hurricane, and so the winds would probably not whip up as much surf with the oil. But you have to watch out. You know, we don't always have oil over the surface of the Gulf of Mexico, so it's hard to figure out how this will all play out. But right now I think you'll be alright with that. It's just continuing to unfold in the United States, of course, with that. Now, the upper level winds have gotten extremely favorable. Look at the entire Gulf. And when I say entire, I mean entire. I mean, you're not dealing with a trough coming in with high wind shear right over Texas and then low wind shear offshore to where a system would feel it if it were moving to Texas. This ain't the deal. We have low wind shear inland Mexico, inland Texas, all the way down the central Atlantic. This whole region here, this area known as the mean development region, in August and September, raring to go. And the computer models have been very, what's the word I'm looking for, consistent lately, that we're going to have Cape Verde hurricanes. Especially by the time we get to, say, August 20th to 30th, we could start to see a lot of them, and even maybe some coming out of the southwest Caribbean towards the Gulf Coast. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that, but you can see our system out there now has favorable wind shear. It's still a little bit strong from the north and northeast, but it's lessening, and you could definitely tell that when you look at the satellite imagery of the system on the water vapor. You can see that the system does have this upper feature pulling away, retrograding west, and in response the system is taking on more of the classic saw blade hurricane shape. And if we get a good burst of convection over those warm waters and it forms an inner core, then we could see more significant strengthening. But until that happens, strengthening will be at a very slow rate of speed. But nevertheless, it's still expected to become a tropical storm by this time tomorrow. It should be a strengthening tropical storm. Again, you can see clearly everything working to just push this system right up towards Louisiana over the next day and a half to 2 days. Taking a look off Africa, there is a big wave over Africa. We'll see how this lasts. If it comes out, it could do something for sure. It's August. We have a few waves here in the central Atlantic, not really worried about. And so that is going to do it this time for the tropics. We have the remnant of Estelle in the eastern Pacific. And a tropical system, a tropical storm hit South Korea this evening. And we will talk about it next time, because definitely have a strengthening system in the Gulf of Mexico. If you live in the tropical storm warning area, keep an eye on it. Get your preparations ready just in case any eventualities occur.